Okay, everyone, welcome to Strength and Restore. My name is Isaac. I'll be taking you through today's class. And today's class is going to be a little bit different pace than what we're used to. Not as faster paced of music. And what we'll be doing is a lot of core-based mobility strengthening exercises, and then some static, like longer static stretching, as well as some postural correction stretching and stabilizing. So it'll be a little bit different moves than we're used to. Not as, like I said, not as higher paced. So just come ready. We'll need a yoga mat. You'll have a little resistance band. Doesn't need to be light, or doesn't need to be heavy. It can be a nice light resistance band. And then also something to sit on. I think I put in this class description a chair. It can be a chair. It can be a sofa. It can be a stability ball if you would like that. So I'm just going to be sitting on the couch when I do these, when we get to that point of the class. So without further ado, let's start with just a brief warm-up. First thing we're going to be doing is our walking hamstring stretch. So you're just going to let those hips sink down, keeping this leg nice and straight, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. We're just going to be going back, alternating legs. Like I said, just letting the hips sink. We don't need to round our back when we're doing this. Keep our back nice and straight. You might notice you feel a stretch like right away. That is okay. You don't need to force yourself deeper into our stretch. There we go. Sinking those hips back, keeping our back nice and flat. Toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Perfect. Hips are level. Good. Next, we're going to just do some basic marches. So this isn't anything like what we're used to, where we're going really fast or anything like that. No, this is just a nice, easy march as we're doing this. Like I said, a lot of the moves today are going to be a lot more slower, which means we're going to help build a lot more stability throughout our core. So, here we go. Kind of go up on your toe there a little bit too, and we're bringing that knee up. Get that calf activated a little. There we go. Good. And let's do some sunrise squats. So we're going to start up like this. Our shoulders slightly down towards the ground. And come down. And you have that chair, if you have that chair, just go down to the depth of that chair. Like tap your glutes on that chair every time you come back up. And it's the sumo squat. So we're opening up those knees a little bit more. And those feet. Just squatting down, keeping our back nice and flat on the back here. There we go. Good work. I'm just slightly opening up my hands on the way down and then closing it back up on the way up. Go. Just getting those glutes, quadriceps warm. Make sure when we're at the top here, squeeze our glutes at the top, then come back down. Good. Perfect. Shake out our shoulders a little bit. Start right here. So my elbows and shoulders are almost level with each other, elbows slightly below. Bring it up, and then back down. Trying to keep my shoulders down towards the floor the entire time. That's something that we're going to work on a lot today, is scapular mobility and stability. So when we do a lot of these movements, we're going to be targeting right through our mid-back area and into our shoulders to help with posture. Go. A lot of times when we're sitting at our desk, we're always up like this, right? Our traps come up. We want to focus on rolling those shoulders back, like we're almost trying to put our shoulder blades in our back pockets of our pants. Okay, last one, just some shoulder circles. So relax those shoulders, go back and forth, do one at a time, all back, nice, backwards, nice round, big motion as we're doing this. Good. And forward. Perfect. So let's start off right off the gate with some posture correction exercises. So the first thing we're going to do is an exercise where we open up our hands like this. So you can see me right here. What you're going to do is force those shoulder blades down. So we're forcing them together and down. You're going to hold that there for 3 seconds and then tilt your head up and hold for another 3 seconds. And then we're going to relax. Same thing. So shoulders back. Still trying to remember, we don't want this upper trap. So this muscle right here, we want to be relaxed as we're doing this. So shoulders down, back, hold for 3 seconds, look up. Come forward and relax. It's almost like I'm trying to hold a pencil in between those shoulder blades. It's a small movement, but you'll start feeling how it's working your muscles back there in a way that we're not accustomed to doing, especially keeping those shoulders down. So when I say depressed, I mean down towards the floor, and then retracting our shoulder blades by bringing our shoulder blades closer together. Relax. We'll do one more of these. Hold for 3 seconds. Look up. And relax. So let's grab your resistance band. What you'll do for this one, and I'd rather have you have like a lighter resistance band for these starting movements, because if we start trying to muscle through these, that's when our shoulders start to creep up like that. We're working on our posture today, so we don't need to muscle through these movements, right? We just need to do a nice, light resistance, targeting those weaker, less deconditioned muscles. So, arms out like this, like we're holding a tray of food, and rotate our wrists out, like that, and hold for 3 seconds, and then bring them back in. Same principles as our shoulders are down and back, so our shoulders are towards the floor, and then our shoulder blades are squeezed together as we're doing this. Just nice 3-second holds. Go. If you don't have a resistance band, that's okay. You can do this same motion just without a resistance band, and maybe just increase your hold. Instead of holding for 3 seconds, if you don't have a resistance band, hold for about 10 seconds back there. But you'll notice with this resistance band, you can really feel that pull in between your shoulder blades and into that mid-back. And that's where we want to feel it, right? If you're starting to feel a pull up here, reset yourself, roll those shoulders back, and then continue back with the repetitions. Good. Let's do one more. Hold it for another little bit longer than 3. And relax. Perfect. So next one. This is gonna take it up a notch. So, what I want you to do is we're gonna have our arms up like this now. So, elbows and shoulders are in line with each other, but I'm still bringing those shoulders down, right? And shoulders down and together. And you probably guessed it, we're gonna bring it out like that. And you'll notice this is not a big movement. You'll start feeling resistance like right about here, and that's all the further you need to go. As long as you're feeling this movement in that mid-back, in the posterior shoulder area. Do a few reps of this. Widen your arms a little bit more. You'll feel that throughout the entire movement. Take a break as you need. You start feeling your shoulders coming up. Reset yourself. Good. Okay, let's do one more. Hold. Good. Okay, let's give ourselves a little bit of a break. You can roll your shoulders out a little bit. Just kind of relaxing them a little bit. They've just been through a lot, especially that mid-back area. So do some stretches across your chest like that. Just trying to open up that shoulder, those shoulder blades a little bit more. Help increase our range of motion. So when we do the strength part of it, we can build more strength and stability with a greater range of motion. Okay, let's restart. We'll start off with that first one. We bring our arms back, just getting that muscle memory down, right? So if this is the first time you've ever done something like this, we really want to work on muscle memory before we start increasing that resistance. So arms back, bringing those shoulder blades closer together. I'm holding a pencil in between my shoulder blades. And look up. 3-second hold. 3. And relax. Good. Come on. Hey. Now go get it. 4. Come on. 3. There we go. 2. Come on. Hey. Now go get it. Let's do a few more of these. When we bring those shoulder blades back, sometimes we might have a tendency to want to bring that head forward. Still keep our head in line with our body. Hold this one for another, not for 3 seconds, we're going to hold it for 10. 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, let's bust out the resistance band. Hold it here. Like we're holding a tray of food. Elbows in to our side, towards our side. And just bring those arms out. There we go. It's a small movement, but if we're doing it correctly, you're going to feel that right through the area between our shoulder blades and into our shoulders. Trying to keep this muscle right here, that upper trap, relaxed the whole time. And we know we also want to keep our neck protected as well as we're doing this. Nothing forward like that. We don't want to be arching our neck back. Just a nice neutral chin, neck as we're doing this. And we'll hold for another 10 seconds. Whew. Feel that burn. Good work. And our last one, hard one. Arms up. And you can widen them out a little bit more than this. Bring them out. Elbows out. Try to keep your shoulders and elbows in line with each other. But if that's too difficult, if you can't do that without bringing your trap, getting your upper trap involved, then just bring your elbows down a little bit more. I'd rather have you target the area we're trying to target between those shoulder blades, rather than trying to do something and just muscle right through the exercise. This is a good one right here. And let's hold. And relax. Good work. Okay, so one last thing with those posture exercises. We're going to do a series of 3 holds. So the first hold is going to be our T hold. So we're going to bring our shoulders down once again. Palms up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to hold right here. Like we're holding 2 plates of food in each arm. Just to give ourselves a good burn up top before moving to our more core-based exercises. And relax with that. Then we're going to go into that W, so we're going to be right here. Bring them out. Once again, trying to keep our elbows and shoulders in line with each other while also squeezing our shoulder blades closer together and not letting that neck get involved with this. Right here. Hold it a little bit longer here. And 3, 2, 1. Relax. Perfect. And our last hold of the day. This one's going to be this is going to be the most difficult one. Bring our arms up while still rotating those shoulders back. Go up to the point to where if I go up any higher, notice how my shoulders want to come up with me. I want to go just before that point. Go up to the point just before that point where I can still keep my shoulder blades back, like I'm putting them in my back pockets. We'll hold this one a few more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, we're done with the upper body stuff, so it'll be good for that for the day. So next, let's get down to our yoga mat. And the first thing we're going to do is a hip bridge. So what that's going to look like is we're going to target our glutes as we're doing this and into our hamstrings a little bit as well. So my knees are slightly past my hips, but not by very much. And what you're going to do is you're going to engage your abs. So we're going to squeeze our abs and flatten our lower back onto the floor. So we have an arch in our low back. We're flattening that arch. Core is engaged. And then we're going to press up through our heels and holding here for a good 3 seconds and slowly lowering them back down. Just like that. Squeeze our abs. So we're squeezing our abs. We're flattening that back onto the ground and pushing up through our heels. You're going to feel that in your hamstrings and then in your glutes as well. And lower back down. I want to move my heels a little bit closer to my body. There we go. We're just going to do reps of this. Nice and slow. Remember I said at the beginning, I want to do nice and slow movements with this because that's going to help target more stability in these movements rather than power, strength and power. There we go. So it's a different kind of strength. Sometimes it's not the one that we try to utilize and strengthen in our fitness classes, as far as because we're doing a lot of higher intensity motions. Even if you're a runner, biker, whatever, those are all powerful movements. Rather than strengthening strengthening the tinier muscles and helping work on any sort of muscle imbalances that we might be causing because of the weak areas. Squeeze our abs, bring our hips up, and let's hold. Let's hold up here. Just really squeeze our glutes together. Keep squeezing our glutes. And slowly lower back down. Perfect. Okay, that's more glutes. Let's do some dead bugs. So arms up like so. Same idea with our abs. We're going to squeeze our abs together, just eliminating that arch in that lower back. So we're just flattening our back to the floor. And then you're going to bring your right arm back and your left leg down. And then back up. Helping to work on some coordination here. So left arm down and right arm down. We're alternating every single time. And the slower we go, the better it is. So we feel more of a burn into that abdominal region than if we were just speeding through it like this. Good. At any point you feel your lower back starting to come up off the floor, reset yourself. I want you to just do marches like this. Rather than leveling that leg out, I want you to do a march rather than lowering your leg. Good. We're going to be feeling this in our core for sure today. And let's do a few more. Good. And relax. So, next one we're going to do is called an air clam. And what this exercise is going to target is our glute medius muscle, which is a muscle that gets overlooked a lot of times when we're doing squats and lunges and reverse lunges even. It just tends to not get as trained as much. And it's an important one to train because it helps us with lower back pain, with stability, with our running form, or really any movement. Underdeveloped glute medius can lead to a lot of imbalances. So first what we're gonna do, so you can see I'm on my side, so I'm laying on my left side, and I'm going to bring my right hip slightly forward, like that. My heels, I want in line with my hips. So they're not out here like this. They're back towards my hips. And then, so that same motion we were doing right before the bridges and the dead bugs, we want to squeeze our abs, right? So we're flattening that lower back as we're doing this. And then bringing our knee up, holding for 3 seconds, and lowering. If you feel like you need something underneath your neck, like a pillow, I typically just rest on my arm like this, or just position my hand to where it's resting. We want to protect our neck for doing it. So, squeeze our abs, hips slightly forward, bring our knee up, and back down. My heels are in line with my hips. Oh yeah, we gotta do our 3-second hold. 3, 2, 1. Good. So when we're doing this, we want to be feeling the work or the burn, right? So there's our hip bone right here. We want to be feeling it posterior, so back, behind that, but not quite all the way to our main glutes, our glute max. We want to be feeling this right on the side, right through here, like the side of the hip. So not so much right through the front or even like right over that hip bone. We want it more posterior. If you're feeling like that's right where you're feeling it, I need to feel it more in the glutes, then just position yourself a little bit further, closer to the floor. And really hold that pelvic tilt. Because if we aren't holding our abs in, drawing our abs in towards our spine, that can be an issue as well. Good. Let's do one more. Let's hold up for about 3 seconds. Or sorry, not 3, 10-second hold. 10 seconds. Good. And relax. So let's go to the other side now. So we're going to be laying on our right hip. Position yourself to where you're comfortable. Heels in line with our hips. Slightly tilt that left hip forward, so closer this way. Pelvic tilt, so squeeze our abs so our lower back flattens. And then bring our left leg up. Hold for 3 seconds. And then lower back down. Feeling that all on the just behind that hip bone. Into our glutes. Keeping our core engaged. Good. Hold it up there and slowly lower. Let's do one more hold. And hold for 10 seconds. Good. And relax. Perfect. So, next one we'll be doing, we're going to be targeting that same area as we were with those air clams, but it's just going to be a little bit more of an intensive motion. So it's going to be really targeting that and also really forcing us to get our core engaged with this. So we're going to be down all fours, so knees and hands. You can also bring your hands up like this if you have any wrist issues. What we're going to do, you're going to squeeze our abs. So we really want to squeeze our abs during this one. And then you're going to bring your leg out. So my left leg is just going out towards, out and away from my hip. just like that. And it's not, you notice how I'm not twisting up like this. We don't want to be rotating and twisting our lower back like that. We still want to keep our hips level as we're doing this. So brace yourself in any way you can. Maybe you want to widen your hands, widen this leg as well to really target and making sure we're keeping our hips level as we're doing this. Like we're holding a tray of food right here and we don't want it to tip over. We start rotating our hips up, we're going to tip that tray over. So I'm starting on my left leg. Like I said, it's a little bit different pace than we're used to. As we're doing more and more reps, you'll really start to feel that core engage. Let's hold that leg out there for about 5 seconds. And bring them back in. Good. So let's go to the other side now. So right leg. Same thing. So we really keep our core engaged. Then we're going to bring our right leg out, keeping our hips as level as we can. We're doing this. I might have the tendency, and I even noticed myself doing it, I want to bring my neck in like that. Still protect your neck as you're doing this. We still want to be in a neutral, or neck neutral as we're doing that. So I'm picking something just on the floor ahead of me and setting my gaze on that. Reset yourself if you need to. If you start feeling that lower back start to arch or you feel like our hips are twisting. Squeeze those abs. And hold out there for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, let's stand up now. Give our wrists a little break. Give our knees a little break. Last movement of this, of our lower back stuff, or I shouldn't say lower back, but just core stuff, is a standing hip flexion extension. So what this is going to look like is you can have something to hold on to something if you need, but we're going to start on our right leg. Have our right leg planted. Bring our left knee up. Straighten our leg. And then keeping our feet parallel. So notice my foot isn't coming out like that. Bring it just to behind the heel of that right leg. So my left leg is going just behind the heel of my right leg, and then it's coming back up. Feet parallel. If you notice those toes start to come out, bring it just a little bit less back then. Show you from the side here. Flex the knee up, left knee up, extend left leg, and then fully bring, trying to keep that left leg as straight as you can. Bring it all the way through and you'll target that whole glute complex as we're doing this. Keep our core engaged. The core never takes a break. Never, ever gets to take a break. Poor core. Oh, see? Notice got some imbalance there. So like I said, if you're doing that, if you're trying to do this and you just can't do that with quite great form, hold on to something like a chair, sofa, whatever, your office space, a wall. But I really want you to focus on trying to keep our feet parallel the entire time. Keep that left leg straight as we're doing this. If we have a bend in that knee, you'll notice you don't feel it so much in your glute. But if you extend that leg, you'll feel that much more in your left glute as you're doing this. Good. We're going to go onto the other side now. So even on that planted leg as we're holding our balance, that's also a good workout for that right leg too. So now we're going to plant with our left leg. Right leg up. Extend the right leg. Keeping the right leg straight all the way through, targeting our right glute. Core is engaged. Nine minutes left. Nice. Let's do a few more reps on this right leg though. And then the rest of this will be a nice long stretch session. Keeping our feet parallel, glutes, core engaged. Good, perfect. Okay, so first stretch. Guess what you get to do? You get to sit down on that chair you have or that sofa. Just take nice and relax. What you're gonna do is you're gonna sit on the edge of your chair. You're straighten out that left leg. Right leg is bent. You're just gonna point your toe towards the ceiling. And then very slightly, you don't have to go very far in this stretch to feel a stretch, right through the back of our leg. So that hamstring area all the way down. You might even feel it right behind your knee. The focus here is keeping our lower back, our whole back flat, right? So when I'm doing this, I'll show you standing. My back does not round when I want to do this. We want to keep our back nice and flat. So we're going to keep stretching that left leg here for another 10 seconds here. Good, and let's go to the right leg. So same thing, point our toe towards the ceiling. Back is nice and flat, straight up and down. And then we're gonna hinge at our hips just slightly to where you feel that stretch in your hamstring and all the way down the back of that leg if we're really tight.
Sometimes it's hard to let things happen just like they should.
You can do this stretch at your office chair. You get a lot of benefit from this. Keeping those hamstrings nice and stretched out. Okay, so next we'll do, you're gonna take your right leg, put your right foot just on top of, not onto the left knee, but just above that knee. And you're gonna take your your right hand and press your right knee towards the floor. So we're feeling a stretch right through that outer hip area. Keeping our back nice and flat, good posture all the way through. We're at the edge of our chair or sofa. And let's go to the other side. Good. So we're just slightly pressing that left knee towards the floor. Back is nice and flat. Filling that all the way through that outer hip as we're doing this. Well, if you're coming from Minnesota today, we're in a heat advisory, so drink plenty of water. Stay inside. If you're outside, just be careful. Perfect. Okay, so next, I want you to do that same position. So we're going to bring our left leg planted right here, but instead of bringing our knee towards the floor, we're going to bring it towards our chest like that. You're going to feel that stretch right through behind, kind of into our glute area and into our hip. So trying to keep our shoulders level as we're doing this too. So shoulders back. And we'll go to the other side. Bring our knee towards our chest. Feel that all the way through that area. Good. Okay, next, what we'll do is a hip flexor stretch. So we can do that from the floor, or if you have like a sofa or a chair, whichever you want to do. You're planting our right foot, sorry, our right knee on the sofa, or I'll just do it from the floor here. So right knee is on the floor. You're going to bring this leg out away from you, keeping our core engaged, and now squeeze that right glute, so the glute with the knee on the floor, and you're going to feel that stretch all the way through front of our hip, so our right hip as we're doing this. If you want to go deeper into that stretch, keep bringing that leg out, so our left leg out and away from us. Core is engaged, right glute is engaged, and I feel that stretch right over my right hip flexor. To the front of our hips. And those can get so tight throughout the day. Let's switch to the other side. If we're sitting at a desk all day, get so tight in that front of our hips. There we go. Good. And let's do a few neck stretches so you can come up back up here. Let's do a deodorant check stretch. So you're going to turn your head about 45 degrees. Look down at your armpit like you're going to try and make sure everything's smelling all right. And tilt your head just slightly down towards the floor. You'll feel that stretch all the way from the back of your ear onto the top of your shoulder. I'm gonna stop this timer. Keep holding that stretch. And let's go to the other side. So turn your head 45 degrees. Look down at your armpit. Take your right hand. Bring your head just slightly towards the floor. This does not need to be an aggressive, intense stretch as we're doing. Well, thank you for coming, everyone. Next, strength and restore. We'll do a lot more stretches for upper body, just to target that area a little bit more this time. And we'll hopefully get to just an overall longer stretch session with a little bit less of these stability moves, but we'll just try to keep infusing more as much as we can. And thank you for coming. I hope this was a good one.